Unit 31. Using SPSS in report writing. Contents. 31.1 Introduction, 31.2 Why to use SPSS, 31.3 Charts, 31.4 Working with SPSS Output, 31.5 Copying SPS Output to MS Word document, 31.6 Conclusion. Learning objective. It is expected that after going through Unit 31, you will be able to edit the SPS program output, tables to suit your needs in report writing, create and edit chart for graphic presentations of your data analysis, copy the CPSS edited tables and charts directly into your report. 31.1 Introduction. Unit 29 you read about SPSS, and now in Unit 31 you will learn how to modify or edit the tables generated by SPSS to meet your specific needs in writing reports. Creating and editing charts are covered to enhance your report presentation skills. Also, you will learn how to copy the edited tables and charts in a MS Word document where your main report file may be accessible. 31.2 Why to use SPSS. In SPSS, when you run a statistical procedure, the results are displayed in a window called Viewer. At the time of including this result in your report, you may wish to create a professional looking report both quickly and easily. Powerful calculations and formatting capability of SPSS let you design your own highly specialized reports such as cross tabulation. You can use formatting tools to change fonts, colors, styles, column size, row size and alignment. The use of present formatting in style sheets can eliminate the need to reform each new report. Often the most striking way of presentation of data is with charts, also often called graphs. A chart provides a quick visual sense of the main features of the data. Using SPSS, you can create and edit charts for your data. Normally, you use MS Word or some other word processing program to type your report. You include the tables and charts generated by the SPSS in the report to support your analysis. Using the copy and paste functions of MS Word, the tables and chart generated by SPSS can be copied from the SPSS output window and posted into Word window without having to create new tables and charts. 31.3 Charts. A chart is a graphical representation of data. Before you create a chart, you should keep in mind that title identifies the chart. Therefore, you give the chart an appropriate title. Category as x-axis identifies the data being charted on the horizontal x-axis. Examples of x-category x-axis includes date, persons, places, groups, etc. Therefore, clearly identify the categories of the variables and give an appropriate category x-axis title. Value y-axis identifies the data being charted on the vertical y-axis. Examples of y-axis tables include numbers, value of money, value of currency, percentage, etc. Therefore, clearly identify the value along with an appropriate value title. Legends. Identify the information charted. A legend will be important for identifying which information related to what class. A number of types of charts, pie chart, bar chart, histograms, etc. are available to portray certain types of information. You must therefore choose the correct type of chart for information you wish to project. Many of the charts available in SPSS come in two different general formats. A standard chart and B interactive chart. The standard charts are created either from the main group menu bar or by statistical procedures. The interactive charts are created from the interactive submenu of the graphs menu bar and the charts created from pivot tables. However, we will limit this unit to creating and editing standard charts only. Pie charts can be created using any of the level of measurement of data, nominal, ordinal, interval or ratio. Bar charts can be created using nominal, ordinal or interval or ratio discrete variables data. Histograms are created using interval or ratio continuous variable data. The polygon chart can be created using interval, oblique, ratio or ratio data. Creating standard chart. In this unit, we shall concern with the creation of a simple pie chart and then a bar chart. A pie chart can be constructed from all levels of measurement. To create a pie chart, follow the instructions given below. Select graph pie command from the menu bar in the data editor window. Let us go and check data editor window, pie chart, graphics, chart builder. Open the data file. You have to open the data file. For what data file? I have not created the data file. Okay, I will later explain you all this thing. For time being, I just keep it small. Okay, so and select graphs pie command from the menu bar in the data editor window. The pie chart dialog box appears on the screen asking you to define the cases of in a variable or separate variables. Just a minute, so I will go to the data view. This is data view only, variable view, data view. Data view we have to go to graphs. Graphs we have to go for the pie chart. Before that it's a pie chart. Okay. Here also open the data file. We have no data file available here now with us. Okay, later we'll correlate these lessons with the actual software. So time being, I will just go through this. Okay, screen asking you to define the cases in variable or separate variables. So this is summarize. This pie chart dialog box will come, because this may be an older version, and what I am showing you is the latest version I downloaded. There's a trial version I downloaded. Let me see if I can go through and explain to you. If you can want the summary, the number, percentage, etc. of the cases, each category groups available in the name, same variable check mark, the summaries for groups of cases button. For example, you may wish a pie chart to show the gender's distribution of number of respondents, sex variable, number of males and number of female respondents. If you want to summarize the total or percentage, average or count, etc. of different variables as a pie chart check mark, the summaries of separate variables button. If you want to simply the value of individual cases as a pie chart check mark, the values of the individual cases button. For example, you might have typed the number 25 as a male respondent, and in case 1 and case 2 30 a female respondent, again as case 2 in gender variable. In your example, we have check marked summaries of groups of cases button, since the gender subgroups and there is sex variable. This is two are there actually. So summaries for groups and cases, summaries for separate variables, summary values of individual cases. So in this example, we have marked summaries of groups of cases button, because gender also is there and also the sex also included. So subgroups gender RS in sex. Okay, variable, how many percentages are there? Okay, after check mark in appropriate button in the pie chart dialog box, press the define button to close the dialog box. The define pie, the summary of groups of cases dialog box appears on the screen. The default setting of each slice of pie should be represented in the next number of cases. Check mark n of cases button if it is not already check marked. You can also check mark percentage of cases button if you require to place a number of cases. Transfer the variables on which you want to the pie chart from left variable box to the box under a defined variable series by using arrow key. Remember that when charts are created, they do not show the missing cases category as a default, as you have seen in unit 30 on using SPSS for data analysis. If you want to display this category, make sure that the number of cases with missing value is not excessive. To display missing values, click the option button to define the missing values. The option dialog box appears. Check the mark that display group defined by missing values button, and then click continue button. Click OK button in defined by dialog box to create a pie chart. So In the pie chart, you have female, male, and from the total respondents, you can also add how many people are missing. So this percentage would have come from total number of people who have responded. If you want to make a pie chart with the total number of people to whom you have asked questions, from that, if few people have not responded, then you can put an area where you can show that this many percent of people is not responded. In that, whatever knowing is female this many and male this much percentage, like that. So reflection and action 31.1. Read carefully the text given above about creating standard charts and answer the following questions. Write your answer in the context for creating pie chart on the gender distributions in India. When you create a chart for in SPS, what are the important points you should keep in mind? Discuss the steps involved in creating a pie chart on a topic mentioned above. Graph. See the figure 31.3, an example of a completed pie chart on the gender distribution in India. Example of completed pie chart of gender distribution in India. Bar chart. To create a bar chart, select the bar. Symbol have customized, and then appears again a symbol bar chart is there. Then clustered bar charts are all stacked. Bar chart is that on the top of one, another will be displaying. Select your opinion by clicking the record option, respective chart box. Define the cases you have done in pie chart by clicking either summary of groups of cases or summary of separate variables or value cases. Box under that in chart R area in the bar chart dialog box. In our example, we have checked marked as summaries of group cases button, since the gender subgroup male or female are in sex variables. Click the define button in the bar chart dialog box to close it. The define symbol bar summary of groups of cases dialog box appears on the screen, which is identical to the define pie dialog box. Transfer the variables on which you want to bar chart from the left variable box to the box under category axis using arrow key. The default setting of which each rectangle of a bar chart should be present in the number of cases. The check mark n of cases button if it is not already check marked. You can also check mark percentage of cases button if required in place of number of cases. Click OK button to generate the bar chart in the output view window. So this is a summary of groups of cases. We can get the chart like this 31.6, an example of completed bar chart. This is how many counts are male are there, how many counts female are there, like that. Example of completed bar chart on sex distributions of person editing chart output. The basic SPSS procedure on creating graphs produces a bare minimum amount of information about the chart. You do not get a title or number of percentage of each slice of the chart. You would have generated title of the graph by clicking the titles, but on the define pie dialog box in case of pie chart, or define symbol bar dialog box in case of bar chart. However, in SPSS, a number of options are available to improve the graph. You can do this with the help of SPSS chart editor. Double click anywhere on the chart. The chart editor dialog box appears along with a menu bar. You can choose a number of options to improve the chart or change one type of chart to another type of chart. Figure 31.7, chart 1 is SPS chart editor. Changing to a different type of chart, go to change the type of chart from pie chart to the bar chart. Select gallery bar command for the menu bar into chart editor. The bar chart dialog box appears. You have three options: symbol, clustered, and stacked. Click the replace button to change the chart type to a symbol bar chart. 3. Editing titles to your chart. To edit titles to the chart, select chart title command from the menu bar. In a chart editor, the title dialog box appears. Type the title of the chart in the title 1 and title box 2 box Click OK button, close this dialog box and insert the title. Adding footnotes. To add footnote to the chart, select chart footnote command from the menu bar, the chart editor. The footnotes also you can add. Dialog box appears. Type the text for footnotes in footnote 1 and or footnote 2 box. You have also align center or left, right, etc. By selecting the option of the footnote justification box. Click OK button to close this dialog box and insert the typed footnotes. Options. Select chart options command from the menu bar in the chart editor to change the information that is attached to each slice of pie. As we have been seen earlier, at time of creating a chart, the default setting for text labels, male, female, etc. is represented by each slice. In the option dialog box, click on the values and present box to generate absolute and relative frequencies for each slice displayed along with the text label by clicking format button. You can also set the decimal places either to 0 or some other required number of digits. The gender distribution of respondents: female 53.3%, male is 46.7%. The pie chart of the gender distribution of respondents. You can edit the bar chart created earlier using various features in the chart editor. An example of a refined bar chart is shown on the next page. Here the gender distribution respondents, this is the bar chart. Sex distribution of person, distribution of respondents. So reflections and action 31.2. At the time of editing a chart, you can add or modify some informations about chart. What are the options available or doing so? Discuss the options in terms of changing the chart shown in figure 32.4. In unit 32, a different chart, a type of chart, adding titles and footnote to it. 31.4, working with SPSS output. All the output generated from statistical or graphical procedures will appear in SPSS viewer window. Every time you run a new procedure in the same session, the output is added to the end of the output of the previous procedure. If the output viewer window is closed and another procedure is run, a new output viewer window is automatically generated. The viewer window has two components: the outline pan and B contents panel. Pan is written. The outline pan is located at the left hand side of the output viewer window and shows the output in outline view as a list of items. The contents pan in located at the right side of the output viewer window and displayed the actual contents, table, charts, text, etc. So you can drag the right left border to the outline pan contents to change the width of the outline pan contents. This will facilitate through enough room in the respective viewer pan. Browsing result. You can also the scroll bars both vertical and vertical to browse the result. If you want to go to a particular table or chart or text with the corresponding captions of the item in the outline pan. You can use the output viewer window to browse through the result, show or hide selected tables or text or chart, change the display order of result by moving selected items, use the draft view for symbol text output, use pivot table editor to rearrange the rows and columns and layers, copy the items in other applications such as MS Word, delete the selected tables or text and chart, add items to viewer, printing the output. You have learned how to print the output in the earlier unit on SPSS. You will now learn how to copy it in MS Office in the next section of this unit. Hiding and showing output. In the viewer, you can selectively hide, show individual text and table, etc. The hidden items would not be viewed, copied or printed with the rest of the output. To hide the table or text or chart, double click its open book icon, outline pan of the viewer. The open book icon changes to a closed book icon, signifying that the particular item where procedure is hidden. To hide all the result from a particular procedure, click the box to the left of the produce procedure name in the outline pane. This hides all the items result from the procedures and collapses the outline view. To redisplay the hidden items, double click the closed book box books icon. So changing display order of items. You can also change the order in which the output is displayed in the outline panel, which on the item you want to move, drag the selected item, hold down the mouse button while dragging to a new location in the outline and release the mouse button. You can also move items by clicking and dragging the contents pane and select edit cut command and then select edit paste after command on the menu bar. Deleting items. Click an item on the outline pane of contents pane to select the item. Press delete key on the keyboard. The item is deleted. Changing items alignment. But by default, all results are initially left aligned. You can change the alignment of selected items. For this, click on the items either in outline pane or content pane or to select the items you want to align. Select format align left to align left or format align right to align right or format align center command for the menu bar. Output 1 SPS viewer changing items alignment. Adding items. In the output viewer, you can add items such as text, chart, or material from other applications such as Word or Excel. Text items not connected to a table or chart can be added to the viewer. Click the text table or chart object will proceed the title of the text you are intended to add. Select insert new title command or insert new text command in the menu bar. Double click the new object under the next title, the text title you want at this location. Figure SPS view editing items. To insert a text file in an output viewer, click a table, chart or text item that will proceed the text file you are intended. Select insert text file command from the menu bar. Select the text file to be inserted. Observe that the text file is inserted. To edit the text, double click the item. Draft viewer. The draft viewer provides result in a draft form when you are procedure. The text output in the draft viewer can be edited. The charts can be resized and both the text and chart can be copied to the other applications such as MS Word. You cannot edit the chart and the draft viewer does not include interactive features of pivot tables. That means if you prefer simple text output rather than interactive pivot tables, you can use draft viewer. To create a draft output, open the draft output window to select file new draft output command in the data editor window and then run a procedures in the draft viewer window. Yes, you are controlling the format. The output that would be displayed and pivot table in the draft viewer is converted into text output. The default setting for the converter pivot table output include each column in the table is set to the widest of that column label. Therefore, the column labels are not wrapped in multiple lines. Instead of tab, the alignment is controlled by spaces. Book chart from the SPSS marker set are used to row and column separator. If the both characters are turned off, vertical line characters are used as column separators and dashes are used as row separators. You can control the format of the table output using options dialog box before you run a procedure. For this, select edit options command in the new menu bar before you run a procedure. The option dialog box appears on the screen. Click the draft viewer button. To reduce the width of tables you should reduce the column width containing long tables. Click on maximum button under column width area in the option dialog box. Type the maximum number of characters that column width can hold in the box against characters. The labels longer than the specified width are wrapped into to fit the maximum column width. You can change the default box characters for now and column borders. You can also specify different cell separators or enter blank spaces if you do not want any character used to mark row and column. For this, remove the check mark in the display box, character box in the opinion dialog box. Type a character which you want as a row separator in the box against row. Under cell separators area, similarly type a character which you want to as a column separator in the box against column. Under the cell separator area, typing a separate space separator in the row and or column boxes will result a table with corresponding blank borders. So this whole procedure is simple procedure. If you start working on it, it is very easy to do that, because as far as present students are concerned, I think they are more familiar with the MS Office and computer and all those. So this is different options available here, and the draft viewer is designed to display space separated output fixed pitch font if you want to copy the output. So to some other applications such as MS Word document, select tabs for the column separator. For this, check mark the tabs button again as separate columns with the options dialog box. With this selection, you can use any font that you want in the MS Word like application and set the tabs to align output properly. However, tab separated output will not align properly in the draft viewer. You can change the font type and their sizes in the options dialog box. You can change the font type and their sizes in the options dialog box. For this select that font type in the list box under font, then size in the next list box. Thus print or save the draft output from the steps explained in the earlier unit on SPSS. I think it will be better to do directly on the software. Then only you can clearly understand, and when you do in the software, it is also very easy and it's very familiar steps. It may be like to change the font and all those kind of things. So we will go to the pivot tables. So in SPSS, many of the results from the statistical procedures are displayed in default pivot tables. The default tables produced may not display information as neatly or as clearly as one would like. With the pivot table, you can rearrange the rows, columns and layers. Some of the options for modifying a pivot table are interchanging rows and columns, moving rows and columns, creating multi-dimensional layers, grouping and ungrouping rows and columns, showing and hiding cells, rotating row and column labels, finding definition of terms used, accessing output definition. Many of the statistical terms are displayed in the output. Definitions of these terms can be accessed directly in the output viewer. For example, double click case processing summary pivot table. Right click valid and select what's this for the pop-up menu. Observe that the definition of valid is displayed in the pop-up window. Figure 31.2 case processing summary. Editing a pivot table. To edit a pivot table, activate the table by double clicking the table you want to edit. Click a label or text or number you want to edit. The menus change to display commands relevant for editing table attributes. In addition, a table toolbar and pivoting tray dialog box appears, allowing you to change the table attributes. So this is not SPSS viewer is there. It's not very clear. So if the pivoting tray dialog box is not visible on the screen, select the pivoting trays command, and from the menu bar, the pivoting tray provide a way to move data between columns and rows and layers. The pivot tray contains 3 pivot icons representing layers, columns and rows. Move the cursor on one of the pivot icons to see what it represents. The shaded area in the table indicates what will be moved when you move that pivot icon. Also, when you move the cursor on a pivot icon, a pop-up label will display indicating what's that in icon representing in the table. Drag an icon from the one tray to another tray. The table immediately changes the arrangement in the table. For example, if you want to change the sex category from the row to column, drag the icon from the row tray to the column tray. Transporting rows and columns. Activate the table by double clicking the table. Select pivot response rows and columns command on the menu bar. This will change all the columns and rows to the columns. Transposing rows and column have done here. See, from this go to x-axis, this goes to y-axis like that. So both changed rows to column. Whatever in the rows, it's gone to the column. Whatever in the rows, it is gone to the columns. So changing the display order of the rows and columns. The order of pivot icon in dimension row and column layer tray reflects the display order of the elements in the pivot table. Drag the respective icon in each tray to the order you want, left to right or top to bottom. Moving rows and columns. Activate the pivot table by double clicking. Click the label for the row of column you want to move. Click and drag the label to the next position. Select insert before or swap from the pop-up menu. So this is moving rows and columns. What is procedure? Okay, grouping rows and columns. You can group a number of rows or columns in a table by inserting a group label. For this, activate the table by double clicking on it. Select the rows and columns you want to group together. Click and drag the mouse to select multiple cells containing row heading or column heading where you want to insert a row or a column group heading. Select edit group command on the menu bar. A group label is automatically inserted. Double click the group label to edit the label edit text. If you want to add a new row or column to an existing group, you should first ungroup the items currently in the group and then create a new group that includes the new items. To ungroup the row or columns, you should remove the group labels. For this, select the group label by clicking anywhere in the group label for the rows columns you want to ungroup. Select edit ungroup command on the menu bar. This will automatically delete the group label. So rotating labels, you can rotate either in the innermost column labels or outermost row labels. For this, activate the pivot table, select format, rotate inner column labels command for rotating innermost column labels, and or format, rotate outer row labels for rotating outermost row labels. Such distributions of persons, Marshall status and cross tabulation count. So this is the way it has been. Male, cross tabulation has been. Rotating the labels, just rotating here the labels. It was here like this, horizontal, this become vertical. So creating and displaying layers. Layers can be useful for large text tables with nested categories of information. By creating layers, you can simply the look of the table, making it easier to read. Layers work best when the label has at least 3 variables. Activating the table by double clicking it, drag an action icon from the row tray or column tray into the layer tray. Each layer icon has left and right arrows. The visible table is the table for the top layer. The view the different layers, you can either click the arrows on layer icon or select a layer from the drop down list in the table. Hiding cells. You can hide many types of cells in a table. Dimension label, category labels without hiding the data cells, label cells and data cells in a row or column, footnotes, titles and captions. To hide rows and columns in a table, select view hide on a pivot table menu bar or right click the highlighted row or column to show the pop-up menu and then choose hide category from the pop-up menu. To show the hidden rows and columns in a table, select another label in the same dimension as the hidden row or column. For example, if the male category of the gender distribution is hidden, click the female category. Selected view show all categories in gender command on the menu bar, or select view show all command on the menu bar. This command displays all hidden cells in the table. To hide or show a dimension label, activate the pivot table. Select the dimension label on your any category within the dimension. Select view hide or show dimension label command on the menu bar to hide the selected dimension label. To hide or show a footnote in a table, select the footnote and then select view hide or command on the menu bar to hide the selected footnote. Tables, you can change the appearance of a table either by changing table properties or by applying table look. Each table look consists of a collection of table properties including general appearance, footnote properties, cell properties and borders. You can either select a present table look or create a custom table look of your own. To apply a present table look, activate the pivot table by double clicking the table. The selected format of table looks command in the menu bar. Then table looks dialog box will appear on the screen. Select a table look from the list of files under table look files. Click OK button to apply the selected pivot table. To edit a selected table look or to create your own table look, select a table look from the list of the files and explain above. Click edit look button. The table properties dialog box appears on the screen. Select the appropriate options in the menu to adjust the table properties for the attributes you want. Click OK button in the table properties dialog box. Click save look to save the edited tables look, or click save as or as to save it as a new table look. Note that editing a table look affects only the selected pivot table. An edited table look is not applied to any other tables that use the table look unless you select those tables and reapply the table look. The table properties dialog box allows you to set general properties of a table, set cell styles of various parts of a table, and save a set of these properties in as a table look. Table properties, different table properties are there. How many rows, how many column required, what should be the font of that table, and whether footer is there, header is there. So different options you can select. Using general table on the table properties dialog box, you can control general properties of the table such as hiding empty rows or column, adjusting printing properties. Click the footnote tab to control the format and the position of footnote marks. Click cell formats and table determine a specific format for cells in the data area, for row and column tables, and for other areas in the table. Click borders tab and control the width and column of the lines forming the border of each area of the table. Click printing tab to control the printing properties. Reflections action 31.3. You have just learned while working with the SPSS output, it is possible to carry out several activities like browsing through the results, showing or hide selected tables, text chart, etc. Write answers of the following questions. How do you transpose the rows and columns of a table? What are the steps involved in it? Can it be possible to hide some result in SPSS output viewer without being deleted? If so, what are the steps to hide the selected result? What dialog box will help you in changing the look of the pivot table? That are the general properties you can control using this dialog box. 31.5 Copying SPSS output to a MS Word document. If you want to include some of or all the your tables and charts generated in SPSS into your report, you can copy and paste them from the SPSS viewer window in a Word document. The basic procedure is same for copying data from the data editor and text tables and charts from the output view window. Copy the text table or chart from the SPSS output viewer window to the Windows clipboard, or copy the data from the SPSS data editor to the Windows clipboard. Paste the copied data, text table, chart to the Word document from the Windows clipboard. This means while copying and pasting the data output, the respective program should be open. Copying data from the SPSS data window. To copy the data from your SPSS data editor into your Word document, the following steps given below. Start the SPS program, open the data file with extension .save. Using the data editor, select the data area, rows and columns you want to copy. Select edit, copy command from the menu bar of SPS editor. The data is now copied to the Windows clipboard. Start the Word programs, open the Word document where you are typing your report and want to copy the selected data. Select the page and paragraph. Position the insert point by clicking the mouse. Select edit, paste command from the menu bar window. The data is now copied from the Windows clipboard to your Word document at the insertion point, or select edit paste special command from the menu bar of Word window. The paste special dialog box appears on the screen. Select unformatted text under S and then click OK. The data is now copied from the Windows clipboard to your Word document at the insertion point. You can edit the data or reformat the settings if needed in your Word document. Data as copied from SPSS data editor into Word document. Copying text or table from SPSS output viewer. We will explain here the following three formats: picture, formatted text, and U formatted text. For clarity, we will also explain the steps involved in these three stages: selection, copy and paste. Also, you either copy multiple items or single items. Select items for our SPSS output window. Start the SPSS program. Open the data file with extension .serve. Using the data editor, perform the statistical procedure to generate the output. As you have seen in the earlier unit, the output will generated in the SPSS out viewer window. If you have already generated the output and saved in output file with extension .spo, open the output file, selecting file, open output command on the menu bar of SPS data editor. In the outline panel of the output view window, select either single individual item, table, chart, or window multiple items, table, text, chart you want to copy by clicking on the items. Now the table, text, chart is ready for copying. Stage 2: copy items, text, table, chart from SPSS output window. Copying single items. For copying a single items, text, table, or chart to be copied, select edit copy command from the menu bar of the SPSS output window. The selected item is now copied to the window clipboard. Copying multiple items. For the copying multiple items like text, table, chart, edit copy objects command and menu bar, select the items you are now copied to the Windows clipboard. Start spaced items into a Word document. Start the Word program. Open the Word document where you can type your report and wants to copy the selected item. Select the page and paragraph. Position the insertion point by clicking the mouse. Pasting the single item, text item. If the items you are pasting is text item, select command on the menu bar. Then the text item is now copied from the window clipboard to your Word document insertion point. You can edit the item, table item. If the table item are pasting is a table item, select item, the command on the menu bar, the paste special dialog box appears on the screen. Now you have three options in the dialog box: paste, special, or for dating. So here table as a formatted text. Select formatted text under as box in the dialog box. Click OK button. The table is now copied from the Windows clipboard to your Word document at the insertion point. The average copying the tables are formatted text is that you can edit the text or reformat the setting if needed in your Word document. However, you may have to do some setting if needed in the table to improve the table look. Descriptive statistics. Table as unformatted text. Set unformatted text as under S box, dialog box. Click OK button. The table is now copied from the Windows clipboard to your Word document at the insertion point. You can edit the table if needed. However, you may have to adjust the tabs to set the columns to align properly. Descriptive statistics and distribution persons, minimum, maximum, mean, and standard deviation. Table as pictures. Selected picture under a box, dialog box. Click OK button. The table is now copied from the window clipboard to your Word document at the insertion point. The table is copied as an independent graphic clips, so the table in the table can no longer be edited by you in the Word document. The layout, font size, style, and any box characters will automatically be preserved. The graphic can be resized and positioned on the page within the Word document. However, the information is lost when editing the graphics in your Word. Therefore, if you want to change the titles of the labels or formatting text table, it will be better you do it in SPSS output viewer window as we explained in section 232.3. Descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics in the pictures. Okay, based. Chart item. If the item you want pasting in a chart item, select edit paste special command in the menu bar. The paste special dialog box appears on the screen. Now you have three options in the dialog box: picture, meta file, object, picture in bitmap. Whatsoever the opinion you choose. You cannot do any editing in the Word document except resizing. Therefore, we explain only pasting a picture in this unit. Chart as picture. Select picture under as box in the dialog box. Click OK button. The chart is now occupied from the Windows clipboard to your Word document at the insertion point. The chart is copied as an independent graphic clipped, so the text in the table can no longer be edited by you in a Word document. The layout, font size, style, and any boxed character will automatically be preserved. The graphic can be resized and positioned on a page within the Word document. However, the information is lost when editing the graphic in Word. Therefore, if you want to change the titles or labels or other formatting or text table, it will be better you do it in SPSS Output Viewer window, as we explained in the section 32.2. Pasting multiple items. To paste multiple items, first select multiple items as explained in the stage 1, and then copy items as explained in stage 2, and select Edit Paste command from the menu bar of the Word view window. The objects are now copied from the Windows clipboard to your Word document at the insertion point. The text items are copied and formatted text, and therefore you can edit the text items. However, each table and or chart item will be pasted individual objects. Each object can be resized and positioned on a page within the Word document. However, the information is lost when editing other graphics is in Word. If you want to change the titles and labels of other formatting table or chart, it will be better you do it in SPSS Output Viewer window as explained in section 32.2 and 32.3. Reflections and actions in 31.4. Section 31.5 explains how to copy items generated by SPS into your report, that is in MS Word, and answer the following questions. Where are the three major stages in copying the SPSS output into your Word document? Suppose you want to copy a chart from the SPSS output window into the Word document, write the steps involved in it. 31.6 Conclusion. Presenting of text tables and chart that you have generated using SPS statistical procedure in your report is very important. This is because you can make your report more readable, analytical, and commutable to the reader audience. The graphical representation of data is one of the significant ways of analyzing the information in a more meaningful way. Using SPSS, you can create a number of different types of charts. In the unit, we have introduced you to how to create and edit a symbol chart and bar chart, pie chart and bar chart. And like your word process program, most of the commands in SPS are simple, interactive, and routine. By trying to create other charts, you will be able to master the SPSS program. Using the output viewer window, you can edit and improve the look of your tables. You can change the order of tables, insert new text, delete and add items, print output, and copy the output to your report document in MS Word. Use the draft viewer window and change the present options, improve the table look as per your needs before you can run a procedure. The pivot tables are more interactive. With pivot tables, you can access the definitions of statistical terms used in the table. This will help you in interpreting the statistical result. You can also reformat the tables by transporting the columns and rows. Changing the order of rows or columns shows the hides cells, groups, and ungroup or ungroup the row and column labels. The section or copying the table or text or tables or chart for the SPSS output viewer window or to your MS Word document will help you to copy result directed to your report without being typed again. This will save you a lot of time and eliminate the possibility of errors in typing your report. Remember that there are many statistical procedures from basic to advanced available in SPSS. We did not cover all of them here, as that objective in this course is only to introduce SPSS to the students. Further reading is available with David J. 1944, Data into Text, Ethnographic Research, a Guide to General Conduct. Okay, this is the end of the unit 31. Thank you very much.